Ivan Robinson, day before the big event in Philadelphia, promoting the big event. Tell me about it, man. How's it coming off?
It's hectic, but this is just something new for me. I'm glad to be in this position. I'm not a Bob Aaron or a Don King. I'm just a little local kid from the city of Philadelphia that's just trying to do something for the youth back in the city. So, I'm hoping that they go off strong and good, and we just have a ball tomorrow. That's all.
That's it. It's not just boxing, though, right? Tell me about
we're not just doing boxing. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Like today, it's kind of like rained out today because it's coming down here. But we look to be good tomorrow. We got performances by the Stylistics tomorrow, the Delphonics, Macy Grace, TSOP, and we doing another Lifetime Achievement Award to Mr. Kenny Gamble. So he'll be here too.
Wow, man. Loaded with talent. The Stylistics.
Yeah, he's definitely there. Well, we're trying to make sure that Philly has the best talent, which we already know that we do have it, but we're just trying to bring the best together and do what we can do, that's all.
Yeah, I never even knew the Stylistics were from Philly.
Yeah. Well, J.C. Cameron from Philly, he's still doing his thing, so I'm really looking forward to seeing him do his thing. And then, plus, I'm a 70s kid, man. I like that old school music.
Yeah, man. You're Mr. Philadelphia. And I'm watching CNN today, Ivan, and they said that Philadelphia just had their 210th homicide of the year.
Yeah,
and that's
crazy.
That's crazy. And it's actually surpassed the American casualties in the Afghanistan war this year. Philadelphia is a war zone, man.
Yeah, basically, that's what it is. That's why when you get such great athletes that comes out of a city, a big city like Philadelphia, you have to recognize it. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you don't want to recognize it, we have to recognize it because the poverty today and the community and the things that the kids, I don't want to say come from, but where they come from, the city youth and all that, it's not a good sight. I remember when I came up in the 70s and 80s, man, we used to have basketball leagues every weekend. Guys used to box all the time in the gym. You know what I'm saying? We just used to have everything on, and we don't have that now. So it's like, kind of crazy. And, it hurts when you have champions like Meldrick Taylor, myself, Mike Jones, and all them other guys that were great athletes, and we don't give back to the community. It kind of hurts because at the end of the day, when you sit down and you think about it, you're saying to yourself, why am I not helping these young kids? If it wasn't for the youth, if it wasn't for the old heads back when I was coming up, I wouldn't be a champion. I wouldn't have performed in all the amateur shows. I wouldn't have did this. I wouldn't have did that. So now we have to take the place of them old heads. A lot of them are dead, but we have to take the torch that they passed to us and make it just as good as they did for us. And we don't have that. And that's hurting, man. That really is hurting.
Yeah. What do you see the difference in Philadelphia from the time, as far as even sports in general, not just boxing, but I bet you when you were coming up, you would see football being played and baseball being played. Now you won't see any of that. You don't see any kids playing sports anymore?
Yeah, a lot of our kids are being railroaded, being poisoned with thinking that, they can become millionaires by selling drugs. Being a drug dealer is popular to audience, is popular to the inner city, whatever it is taken that they want to do. Because what does happen is that kids, like, take for instance my son, if I wasn't in his life, if he seen a kid on the street named Joe Bill that was making a lot of money riding around in fancy cars and always had a knot full of money, he thought that was cool because of the simple fact, Daddy ain't got it. Daddy can't give me this. Mommy can't give me this. Mommy and Daddy got to work a 9 to 5 to do this and do that. So, they persuade themselves to lean towards that way. But we as Americans, we as adults have to show our kids that that's not the way, And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, what happens is, I hate to say it, but these guys either end up 6 feet under, or you're in jail.
Yeah, well, that's the only choice, as it seems.
Yeah, basically that. Exactly, you're right. That's what it is.
And it's not just relegated to Philadelphia. It's like a major problem all around America. You see.
Yeah, it is all around America, and I really do wish that we could do things to stop this madness. I mean, of course, it's good when you have a drug dealer, for instance, puts his money into a youth to run a whole basketball league. He feels as though he out here selling the drugs and killing our people. Why can't he give us a couple of dollars to do what it is we need to do to help our community? But at the same time, that's dirty money. I look at it as dirty money. I'd rather for a human being that has a 9 to 5 to try to struggle to help us with our league and our community than a guy that can give me the $5,000 to run the basketball league on my own or on his own. 9 times out of 10, he don't put the league in his name because he know what it is, so he puts it in someone else's name. That's why I just try to do so much. It's hard, but I try to do so much, and I get the thrill out of always being in meetings, talking to different people, trying to get their opinion on what it is that we can do to change the community. It's not, trust me, Chris, it's not easy, sir. It's very hard.
Yeah. What do you think that we can do to crack down on guns and do things?
We just need to get these role models, man, to really participate in the things that we need to do. And I understand that the community and things now is really hard, and really anticipating on, having so much money to do this and do that. Like right now, our mayor is just like really killing us right now because he hit us with high tax brackets on a lot of things. So it's hard for guys like me to run out and try to put an organization together to try to bring a league back to the community and help out. But, I try different angles to do what I can do. Like right now, this amateur boxing event that I'm having tomorrow has become an annual ritual for me. I have to do it every year. If I don't do it, what is the community going to think? You know what I'm saying? Oh, he just did just to make a name for himself because he may have been out of the scene for a while. No, this is something that I want to do until the day I can't do it no more. And hopefully, after that, somebody else can take my lead and do it from there. So I'm trying to train young gentlemen to do certain things. But the thing of it is now, these young athletes, these young men, they don't have the patience, Chris, to do nothing. They look at everything as a fast dollar, and there's supposed to be no consequence behind it. And that's not the way it is. They don't understand. I work so hard to get the money that I have, to do the things that I do, and then on top of that, not just to get it, I work so hard to keep it. I mean, it's just like being a champion of the world. It's so hard for you to get to the top, to fight the champion. You bleed, you sweat, you tear, you cry. You go in the gym some days with messed up fingers, your knuckles hurt. You can't do it. But when you become champion, it's good. My manager, my dad told me, was like, oh, that was nothing. You become a champion, that's nothing. What you going to do now that you are champion? Because just as well as it took you so hard to get to become champion, you got about 30 guys behind you that want to beat you behind, take your place. It was hard. It's hard. It was easy. It was kind of easy getting in this position that I'm in. But then again, it's hard. But now that I'm in this position, it's even that much harder now.
Yeah.
Because everybody gunning for me. Everybody calling me every day. Oh, Ivan, I want you to do this. Oh, Ivan, I want you to do that. Just for instance, a lady called me yesterday after doing a radio show in Philly. I told her nothing about helping her with her bills. I understand that she kind of low on her bills. Her bills are high. People the Pico energy bill knocking on her door. This that. But that wasn't what I portrayed on the phone yesterday when I was doing the interview. My thing was, I'm out to help the kids. Yes, I fight for the kids, and yes, I'm a young man at the same time, and I try to do what I can to help. She calls me, want me to help her go down to the courts and fight for her Pico energy bill to get lowered. I don't have nothing to do with that. I don't even know how to go in court to fight that. But it's good that people take notice, people listen, people feel as though that I'm a monarchy guy and that I can try to help out as much as I can. But Chris, one thing for sure, two things for certain, I just want to help the kids, man. That's all I want to do.
That's it. And also, how many gyms were in the city of Philadelphia when you were?
How many now?
How many now? But
how
many?
Chris,
how many
it can't
was
be
there?
What is about 15. When I was coming up, we had about 100 gyms in this city.
Would you say literally 100?
Yeah, we got literally about 15 gyms because they shutting down. A lot of them closed up. A lot of the old heads that I hate to say that, but a lot of the old heads that were around when I was young, they're dead. Mm-hmm. They're gone. And, it's not like it used to be. That's why, I don't understand. Like, for instance, I get text messages on my phone all the time, and I get emails. Now they're telling me, well, they ain't telling me. I heard that Amir Khan has fired Freddie Roach, and now he want to get Emmanuel Stewart. Mm-hmm. I do understand it, but then again, I don't understand it. Freddie Roach and Emmanuel Stewart are great trainers. Of course, there's no doubt that Emmanuel Stewart is the best of them all. But why do every time a fighter feels though they lose a fighter, they have to change trainers? Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, Mike Jones, he was with my man Vaughn from the day he was an amateur. Mm-hmm. Now he loses one fight, he gets knocked out against Randall Belly. He want to fly to Vegas and get Floyd Mayweather as his trainer. Mm-hmm. Okay, I understand that Floyd Mayweather is one of the best trainers in the world. Mm-hmm. But why would you leave a guy who practically birthed you? Yep. Damn, took you to the gym as an amateur, traveling around with you, got you fights, you know what I'm saying? And then he turned you pro, and he has transformed your style into not a great fighter, but pretty much of a good fighter where people notice you. You get knocked out, which is really not the trainer's fault, it's your fault. But you feel as though you want to train trainers and go to Floyd Mayweather. What makes Floyd Mayweather that much better that you need to go to him and let him train than staying with the man you was with? Mm-hmm. I just don't understand it. That's why I said the fight game has definitely become different. The old head trainers are not here no more. Like the Bowie Fishers, the Georgie Bentons, they're not around no more. The Slim Jim Robinsons, they're not around no more. You still have guys like Floyd Mayweather, but they were a little more after the Bowie Fishers, the Slim Jim Robinsons, the Georgie Bentons. They're a little after. But you got to understand, just as well as Georgie Benton and them guys became great trainers, they took their time, they sat, they listened, they learned. That's exactly what Floyd Mayweather did. But you guys got to give your trainers that opportunity to become just as well and just as a big name as the Floyd Mayweather team. Why would you even get this guy? If you felt though he couldn't take you nowhere, why did you let him train? Then when he got you to the promised land, you got there and you slipped over top of you tripped over your own feet. You ain't bad enough to go back to your coach and say, well, look, coach, this is exactly what we need to do in the gym. Let's go do this. Oh, you want to fire him and go to Vegas and spend time with Floyd? I just don't understand it.
Yeah, last of the loyal babies were born in the 70s, Ivan. They don't make them loyal no more.
Loyalty's right about that. That is crazy.
It's just a pure business now, and that's it. Everyone's out for their own.
Chris, I don't look at that as being business. That's not business.
Yeah.
That's not business at all.
It's a racket.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me if my company is with you, mm-hmm. and me and you take a fall, I'm gonna go to Joe Blow next? Mm-mm. I don't even know nothing about Joe Blow.
That's right.
So why am I going to him? All right, he got a little reputation. He produced a couple great performers, maybe 2 or 3, and he rolled with one out of the 3 that he was with. So I'm gonna leave you and go to him? Nah, I don't think so. Mm. But that's what these fighters do nowadays.
Yeah, and you're getting into promoting the amateur game, so you are staying with helping the kids of Philly. What do you think of the current amateur scoring system? And you see it getting a lot of attention in boxing websites now. You see it a lot because a lot of the crazy decisions going on in the Olympics. What do you think of amateur scoring system?
Once again, Chris, it goes back to loyalty. It goes back to some of it has to do with politics. And furthermore, the judges are not as firm and sturdy as the old timers. Basically, what the world does, it goes in a circle. It goes round and around and around. But for some reason, that's not what we're doing. Because if that was the case, take for instance, like trying to think of I can't remember the big guy's name because they're not ringing the bell right now. But a guy like Steve Weisfeld, I've known Steve Weisfeld. He's a judge. I've known Steve Weisfeld since he came into the professional ring. He was a little older than me, but I mean, when I first got a chance to know his name, I mean, he judged my Gaddy fights. He judged my Chavez fights. I could never say that this man was wrong on any decision. And a couple fights he did with me, I've lost. But they were accurate, and I thought they were real good. But these judges nowadays, they're not firm, they're not sturdy. I don't know if they're getting bribes, if they acting crazy, or just what they doing. I just don't like it. It's not good. It doesn't make boxing that much better. It gives boxing a black eye. But we always have a fighter, some type of fighter along the way that makes boxing heroic again. It makes boxing world class again, like it's always been. It makes boxing the monarchy of the universe. We just have to understand that, all judges are human. They do make decisions. I mean, they do make mistakes. But when they make foul-up mistakes where the decision is absolutely wrong, then you have no credibility to explain to a fighter why you have had or judged this fight that way, because a lot of times it doesn't turn out that way. But I don't know, maybe we need more training. Maybe we need some of the old guys that are judging fights to stop judging, to take time to teach the younger guys what it is about the fight game and how it is. That they don't get, that they don't do, that they don't have. And everyone, not just judges, but everyone in the world, Chris, needs a little tutoring. Everyone, because everyone ain't smart. Everyone ain't A-class citizen, and that's okay. Yeah. And until everyone realizes that, we're going to always have controversy in everything, not just boxing, basketball, football, wrestling, water polo, all that. It's just crazy, like the Olympics.
Have you watched the Olympics?
The Olympics since the day that I lost to Julian Wheeler and couldn't go to the 92 Olympics. I couldn't tell you nothing. I couldn't because I don't watch them.
You don't watch the Olympics like this year?
I don't watch the Olympics at all. I haven't watched. I think the last time I watched the Olympics was when USA basketball team with Michael Jordan and them guys won gold. That's the last time I watched it. Yeah. Other than that, I'm always getting updates. I don't watch it like that.
Yeah, but what do you make of I mean, thank God for the ladies getting their first year. Clarissa Shields picked up a gold medal.
I think that's an asset to boxing I guess to women, because besides, I'm a man of all trades and everything you want to put. I don't think women should just be the type of women that stay home and cook, stay home and be on the steps when you come home from work, talking to the neighbors. I don't think women should just only be in the house cooking dinner, waiting for you to come home and fix dinner for you. I don't think women should just be cleaning the house. I think women should broaden their minds to do other things. That's why a lot of men have trouble in their marriages, because wives don't do things. But now that things have changed for the women, I think that's a good thing. I mean, it might be crazy if your woman can beat you behind. That is crazy. Hey, man, life has changed. I mean, who knows, man? Women may knock their boyfriends out, knock their husbands out, but I don't think it's going to go to that point. But I love the fact that women can fight amateur fights and look good at doing it. And some of them are very, very excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like about it is that I don't think a woman should put her body through what she put her body through to go through what she go through to be a fighter, because, man, I trained for 20 plus years, and I didn't really know. I mean, I always was athletic, but I didn't really know what athletic was being about until I turned pro, and that's just a different stage, and that's a different era. So I'm just kind of against the women, like hurting their bodies. I mean, and women. To me, women go harder than men do. When I'm talking about when we doing our sit-ups and push-ups and crunches and hitting our body with the medicine ball, I think women just go hard. Some men do. I take nothing away from Floyd Mayweather Jr. And I take nothing away from Broner. They go hard. But on top of it, I've seen a bunch of women go harder. But that's because at the end of the day, at the end of time, them same women that become boxers or athletes in the professional boxing game, sooner or later they're going to want to settle down and have kids. And are their body going to be that sentimental to go back to performing by having babies? Some of them may, some of them may not. And I still think at the end of the day, all, not some, all, Chinese, black, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican, I think all women are beautiful, and I think that they just, they hurt themselves when they do that. But I take nothing away from it. I love it. I mean, to see it, like, I can't remember the young lady, but the young lady just won a gold from my man Chris Bird's.
Clarissa Shields.
Man, look, she is terrible. I mean, not terrible. I mean, terrible in the ring. And like she said, she's the best. Beat the best. And nobody can hold that against her. That's something she done. And, man, if I ever see her, I'll give her a handshake, give her a hug, tell her congratulations.
Yeah, it's the same way I feel. See, I kind of feel that way about women, too, boxing. There's a part of me that feels that way. But, I mean, if you look at the damage that a man could have, maybe, unfortunately, look at like someone like Meldrick Taylor or Muhammad Ali, I mean.
Right.
So it's questionable. A lot of people question even whether men should be in it. So, I mean, it's kind of like, it's got to be up to you. Women are doing it big, though. Shout out to Marlon Esparza and Queen Underwood and Clarissa Shields.
Right.
Breaking barriers. But
it is what it is, champ. And we just gotta take it for what it's worth and just commend our sisters just as well as we will commend our brothers that's doing it. And I think in a minute, that's just me, but I think in a minute it's going to come to a point that women are going to be able to take over the boxing world. I'm saying, and that's what it's going to be. The only thing right now is that I had a female boxer. Her name was Jackie Davis. She was 4-0. And she was doing her thing. But see, that's what happened. Trainers have to understand, when you put all your time into with a female, things just happen, and I'm a real sentimental dude. I mean, I used to push her, but at times I felt bad because I had to push her so hard. But she was a workaholic, and she worked. But at the same time, I used to be like, man, I can't work her like I work. But that was the only way to do it, to make her good. I'm saying, she just came in the gym to exercise and everything, but she wound up turning amateur. She won the state. Well, no, she won the ABF Mid-Atlantic tournament. She went out to Colorado, beat everybody. Then she went to the Pennsylvania, New Jersey State Golden Glove, and she beat everything there. She went to the Nationals, won everything there. I thought maybe that's the farthest she was going to take it. But then she turned pro, and her training resume hadn't changed. But then by the time she was into her second fight as a pro, she was 2-0. She started dating somebody. And the guy looked at it like, look, I need you home. I need you here. I need you there. And he started like being against it. And one day he came to me and was like, look here, Mr. Robinson, I can't have my girl fighting. I need her at home. I'm like, look, that's between you and her. I don't want to get in the middle of it. It's between you and her. She went 3-0, 4-0. By the time we get ready to get her 5th fight, she came to me and was like, Coach, I can't do this no more. I'm like, why? Now she want to decide that she want to have a family, which is no problem. I understand that. See, and that's what I'm saying. You have to understand the rules and regulations with women. Women are definitely different from men. So she wanted to have kids and she wanted to get married. Mm-hmm. What am I going to tell her? No, don't do it? Mm-hmm. By the time we set up our 5th fight, she came in the gym. I started noticing that the non-concentration, her doing things that she wasn't supposed to do. And when we set up her fight like 3 months ahead of time, I think she came in the gym 2 days and didn't train. And that's not like her. So I happened to have a sit down with her, and she told me, she was like, Coach, I can't do this no more. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, I can't fight no more. I'm like, why can't you fight? My man talking about he want to marry me and want kids. I'm like, you know what? All right, you go ahead and take some time off, do what you need to do, and then you come back and see me. No, I got a phone call. Coach, I'm not coming back no more. I think she just got married like 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. So, I'm happy for her. I still call her and talk to her. I'm happy for her. But those are the decisions that these fighters make. We have to live by them and understand them and do what it is that they're going to do. But, Chris, you've been around the game a long time. Mm-hmm. If I had your hands, I'd throw mine in the ring. I'm done. If I can get all the things you get done, if I could talk to all the kids that I could talk to and persuade them to, not basically persuade them, but just give them the option to look at what I'm saying, look at where I've been, how I've done, what I've done. Of course, there's some things in my career that I would have loved to change. But besides that, I had a great career. If I could just get a couple guys to look at those things and think about those things and feel as though, all right, well, this is what I can do. And we have a lot more Andrew Bones. We have more Floyd Mayweather seniors out there. Juniors out there. And, I love the competition. I love to see kids go out here and compete, even as a professional. Because you know why? It's nothing better than a sweet science of boxing. And at the end of the day, my old trainer, well, not my old trainer, old head, told me one day he used to sit out in front of the gym every day and play chess. And I always used to say, Mike, they used to come out and say, Mike, come sit here and play chess. Man, I don't know about no chess. He said, don't you know how to box? I said, yeah. That's what we get ready to do. We get ready to box. I never knew nothing about no chess. But at the end of the day, when I think about it and think about how many times he used to try to get me to play chess, exactly, that's what it is. Chess is nothing but a boxing game. You got to learn how to beat your man to the punch. You got to know how to maneuver. You got to know if he throw a certain shot. You got to know if you can counter off of it, if you can slip off of it. Man, boxing is just so good, but everybody can't box. Yeah. Everybody can't do it, Chris.
That's true. Not everyone's Ivans, but
everybody can't do it, champ.
You can't do it. You had a great foundation though with the amateur system back in the day.
Right.
What happened? What happened to any guy meddling? Like this was another awful Olympics. It's like the 3rd bad Olympics in a row. It's like what is going on with the amateur system in America? Why can't we write it and make it better?
This is what I think, and it's only my opinion. It's said to me every day at my job. It's said to me here where I'm at now at my with my business and helping my CDC. There's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. You know what I'm saying? We got all these Indians want to be chiefs. And what we need to just pick one and leave it at that. We got too many. Like, for instance, here in Philadelphia, you know what I'm saying? I got a bunch of trainers. I may have 2 handfuls of trainers. One handful is old heads, and the other handful is new jacks. The old heads don't want to pass the torch to the new guys. So the new guys feel as though they can take over by making their own rules. And that's not just here in Philadelphia. That's in every state across the world. We all not getting together, coming together, and saying, look, this is what it's going to be. Me, I think the amateurs should go back to the 10-point scoring system. This computerized thing came out in 91, and my dad tried to boycott it. Because it was just, and I could see why he tried to, because it wasn't meant for me. Mm-hmm. Now, back then it was for guys like Oscar, Patrice Brooks, maybe a Chris Bird, definitely Forrest. A Vernon Forrest, definitely a Shane Mosley. Because those were the type of guys that were great fighters. I mean, they wasn't as great as me, but they was great fighters. Difference with them was Shane, Vernon, Chris, and Oscar, they could knock you out, which they didn't do many knockouts, but they could do knockouts. But the thing was, they punched so cleanly and so hard that if they hit you with a jab, you've seen it. Mm-hmm. So that was the point. Me, you know me, Chris, I can hit a joker with a 20-piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can.
And he could never see it. Before he got a chance to throw his 1-piece, he got hit 6, 7, 8, 9 times. So that's where the 10-point month system worked for me. Mm-hmm. But that computerized scoring didn't work for me. And my dad knew it, and my dad tried to protest it. And until this day, I still think that's the reason why I never made it to Barcelona. But, it is what it is. But back to what we were talking about, what needs to happen is that every organization from every part of the world needs to get together, sit down, and come together on how we're going to judge fights, what we're looking for, how we're looking for them. There needs to be, a schooling for it, class for it, books for it, and stick to that. Don't, go against it. Like, for instance, my show that I'm doing tomorrow is probably one of the biggest, hardest shows I had to do in my life. Why? Because when I was coming up, if we had a kid that was 17 and a kid that was 19, and I had, say for instance, I had like 10 fights, and the kid had 20, we fought. Man, I done had so many people call me and back out of fights because this kid done had 6 fights, but he a year older than your kid, he far advanced. How much far advanced can this kid be? Why? Because he was in the gym before your kid? But this is the step your kid got to take. And everybody is so prone on records. Why are you worrying about records? I got a guy that from Front Street Gym. No, my fault. Harrogate Gym. I mean, this kid is good, Chris. He's really good. But I don't know what it is. Well, I kind of know what it is. His dad has a big mouth. So everybody just like him. See, that's not boxing. Just because your dad has a big mouth and he doing everything to help you, it should not be judges against him. Should be other gyms against him. People don't want to fight him. I mean, this kid is 2-5, but he's better than his record. Don't nobody want to fight him. Why?
Yeah, you still see that in Philadelphia. There's still, if you see,
come on, Chris, man, it's every day, dog.
Yeah, if you match a Philadelphia fighter who's 5-5 or 10-10 up against another guy from another place in America, and they got the same record, usually the Philadelphia guy is going to be better.
And they're not going to fight.
And the same with Mexicans. A lot of Mexicans take a few losses early, and it's kind of like learning experience, Philly's like that. You got to learn on the job sometimes. It's a tough city.
Sometimes you have to, Chris. Yeah. But, it is what it is, and I don't know, man. I don't know, Chris. I mean, I wish I could just change everything, but, I can't. I'm not going to try. I'm just going to continue to get schooling, because I think I am a pretty good learner, especially when I want to learn something and do something, I kind of want to be a kind of like a promoter, but I want to be the type of promoter that does events. I'm not just talking about boxing. I'm talking about other events, all events. Like, for instance, I'm getting inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame. New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame. In November.
Nice.
So what I'm doing now, I'm promoting the event that I'm being inducted. And my thing is, I'm not charging nobody. My thing is, I'm taking 25 people up to New Jersey. They say it's about 2.5 hours from where I live at, and I'm in Philly. So I'm gonna take a limo of 25 people up to New York to see me get inducted into the New Jersey State Hall of Fame. It don't matter to me. I ain't worried about, everybody talking about, you need to make money off. Man, that's not what it's about, Chris. Because, see, people don't understand. If the fans didn't like me, if the fans didn't think I was trustworthy or if I was a good dude, I wouldn't have never been able to get HBO dates. I wouldn't have never been able to fight on ESPN. People don't understand. Like I tell my fighters each and every day, as long as you have fans, you're going to make it a long way. If you have people that don't like you, you're never going to make it. You got to understand, like Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, and Andrew Broner, people pay to see Floyd, even though they don't want to see Floyd. They didn't want to see Floyd fight Cotto. But at the end of the day, they thought about it. It's like, man, this may be a good fight. Cotto came and fought. People loved that. Even though he lost, people was glad to see Floyd get a nosebleed. People was glad to see Cotto keep Floyd on the ropes and kind of bust him up. They think Floyd getting old, so they're going to pay to see Floyd get beat up. You know what I'm saying? But as long as Floyd keep doing what he's doing, and I know he can do it, he's going to be champ for quite a while.
Now, what do you think of him and 50 Cent and TMT Promotions? What do you got there?
Man, look, what I say, Chris, I say there's enough money in the world to be made by a lot of people. And that's another thing that I would like to state. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's what I think a lot of other fighters should look into doing. All right. For instance, I say this all the time, and I'm going to say this to the day I die. Gaddy was my God saver. Gaddy was my God, because if Gaddy never took that fight wouldn't have never been the fight of the year. I would have never made. I was making good money, but I wasn't making that big money that I made the second Gaddy fight, and I wouldn't have been able to make that big money fight that I made with the Chavez's, the Angel Man Freddy, the Jesse James Lehi. I wouldn't have been able to do those things. And the reason why those things happened for me, because even though it was crazy, but then again, it wasn't crazy. Gaddy took a chance and said, look, let me fight Ivan, and I'm going to beat him. But Gaddy never knew in the back of his head he wasn't going to win. He thought he was going to, he never thought he was going to lose. He thought he was going to win. But I already knew that he was going to lose. I knew too much about him. I knew how to beat him, but he didn't think that I could. But thanks to Gaddy, I was able to do the things that I was able to do. I was able to keep some of the money that I have because of Gaddy. I didn't make no money off of fucking Demetrius Sabalas. I ain't make no money off of, I made money off of Antonio Diaz, but it wasn't a whole lot of money, but it was enough money. It was more money than a lot of guys making nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So, thanks to Gaddy put me on the mat, even though I should have been on the mat, because I felt as though I was a good fighter. I just needed somebody to give me the opportunity to take that chance, Yeah. And, Shane would have given me the opportunity, but I had fought before Shane fight, and I got cut. So that fight went out, and that's when the Gaddy fight came in. So, it's just, if more fighters nowadays took the opportunity to fight other fighters with kind of like big names and stop letting these promoters kind of like dictate who they fight, who they don't fight, when they fight, it would be a lot. I think the fight game would be a lot better. Like right now, I'm hearing Andrew Broner that's calling out Floyd and Pacquiao. To me, I don't think he should fight Floyd right now. Pacquiao could be a good fight for him, but I like Broner. I think Broner beat Pacquiao. Those are two big fights that Broner can either way, Broner is gonna get is going to accomplish whatever he needs to accomplish from the fight. Whether lose, win, or draw, he's going to accomplish what he needs to accomplish. If we have more fighters nowadays doing that, we'd be all right. Like Andre Ward and Chad Dawson, that's a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
I like Andre Ward. Mm-hmm. But then again, on the other hand, Chad Dawson is dangerous. But I think Andre Ward has enough skills. He boxes real well, and he can beat him. I've seen some flosses in his last fight, but I think he's just a little more quicker and a little more far advanced than Chad Dawson to do those things and get away with it. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just a lot of fights out there that can be made. I don't know why they're not being made. Disney. I had a friend of mine from Lancaster named Anthony Keys, and he always told me, this was at the end of my career and we hooked up, he always used to say to me, and I didn't understand it, or maybe I just didn't want to understand it. He always used to say, Ivan, this is the hurt business. And he's right. The boxing game is the hurt business. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of guys walk away from it, or walk away from a fight, an actual fight, okay. But at the end of the day, at the end of the careers, at the end of life, there's something that triggers in their body that comes from boxing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty much a good example. I walked away pretty good. I'm saying I have no flosses. I'm not stuttering with words. You know what I'm saying? I'm not punchy. I can still count my money. I'm saying I can still run a business. I'm good. But at the end of the day, for real, Chris, there are times I like right now, I'm sitting in my office, just sitting here messing around on the computer talking to you. There are days that I may black out and think about the Gaddy fight. How hard Gaddy hit me with that left hook in the 10th round. I'm saying, or that body shot he hit me with in the second fight.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
say. Those are the things that I think about. Sometimes I still feel those things. But don't nobody know about this but a fighter.
You now, how would you get your body ready for those Gotti punches to the body in the second fight? Because I was watching that fight again, and he hit you with some body shots. How do you prepare your body for that?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. How do you prepare your body for that?
Well, I had a guy named Bill. He used to be in the gym with me all the time, and he used to work on a lot of guys in the gym as far as exercise and everything. And I was like a little kid in a candy store. I used to mark him. He used to train himself. Like, he would train all the fighters, and then for some reason, between 6 and 8, he didn't have nobody to work with, and he used to do his exercise. And I used to mark him. I used to get a pad, because back then, we just used, back at the Happy Hollow where I'm at now, we used to have pads we put on the floor, and we do exercise on them. Before we got the tables and all that. So I used to get a pad. I didn't used to get right next to him, but I used to be a couple feet away from him, and he would be doing his exercise, and I would be marking him. So one day, he didn't do his exercise, but I knew around the time he would do it would be when I finished training. So I got on the pad, and I started doing them, and I guess I was doing them all wrong. He was like, no, young man, you don't do them like that, you do them like this. So for some reason, it was just crazy when I wasn't doing them with him. I was getting tired. I couldn't keep my legs up in the air. And then he went and got the medicine ball, and he dropped the medicine ball on my stomach. And when he dropped, I had my legs up, and when he dropped the medicine ball on my stomach, my legs fell down. He was like, "Oh, see, you ain't got enough muscles in your stomach to keep your legs up." So my trainer walked over to him and was like, "You know what? Work with him." I was like, "Huh?" He was like, "Work with him." Well, so from that day on, he used to work with me every day, and we brought him in the camp. And one thing he used to do at the end, I don't know why I started loving this, but I did. He would make me put my hands up in a fighting position, but I would have my hands open, and he would take a big yellow bat and hit me around the body for about 30 seconds. Then it went up to a minute. Then it went up to the fighting time. Then after a while, I started going 8 minutes. I'm sitting there like, what the hell is this about? So at that time, I was boxing Mikey Stewart, who was a big puncher, but he wasn't as quick as Gaddy, but he was a puncher. And he would hit me to the body, and body shots, you can't really protect yourself from body shots because you never know. A good fighter, you never know when he gonna hit you to the body. And this kid, Mikey Stewart, used to throw great body shots. And he used to catch me off guard. But it's like when he hit me with a body shot, I didn't really feel it, but I knew he went there. I was like, wow, that's some little crazy shit there. And, man, he worked with me for the first and the second Gary fight, man. And them body shots was, I mean, that workout, that training workout, man, it was great. I never understood why he never went on to become a great conditioning and exercising coach, because those two fights put him on a mark. Those two fights helped me get through what I needed to get through in that Gaddy fight, because besides Gaddy being a knockout puncher, which he can hit you on the chin and separate you like a fucking meteor, when he hit you to the body, yeah, you felt him.
Yeah.
And you know, it was just amazing how, you know, he Gaddy threw some great body shots, and you know, I didn't feel him. But one thing he did do in the second fight, he went to the body early, and it gave me problems, because he went there real early. I didn't expect him to. I thought I had him kind of figured out going into the second fight, which I did, but then again I did. He kind of changed up, but them body shots helped, because I got hit with some big shots early that kind of like woozed me, and I felt them. But like after the fifth round, it was just what it was. It was just that he knew he couldn't hurt me to the body. He started hitting me on the cup, and that really hurt, because I'll never forget that second Gary fight. Only you and my team know this, Chris. That second fight, I was pissing blood, because he was going to the body so much, man. It was crazy. Because the first fight, when we won, I had 3 suites. The third suite had all the liquor stuff in there I didn't know, and we had a party in there. So all the liquor stuff was in their tub. But the second fight, we only had 2 suites, and the second suite had all the ice in it. But they tricked me. I went in there. They was like, "Yeah, go ahead, man. The ice in there, the beers and all that." So I went in there, and I, you know, put my hand in the ice water, trying to figure out why. I'm like, yo, you know, them niggas came in and pushed me in the tub.
No.
Man, that was so crazy, Chris. It was like when I fell in, because I was already, because I used to wear tights up under my shorts and my cup. Because I used to like slip a lot, bend a lot, and I couldn't do it. I used to have some type of, you know, protection. So that's what I used. So after the fight, that's all I had on. I ain't had no shirt on, and then I just had a towel wrapped around me. And when I went in there, my man Rennie went behind me, and I was looking through the tub for the stuff. I'm like, yo, ain't that? And then they could push me right in there. It was so cold, Chris. I couldn't move. When I fell in there and my butt hit the bottom of the tub, I just like froze.
Jeez.
I couldn't move, man. When they pulled me out of the jar, because they let me sit in there for about a half an hour. When they pulled me out, I couldn't get out. I had like 3 people. 2 people was at the top that grabbed my arm. 2 people grabbed my feet, and my man had me in the middle. And they picked me up, and they put me on the bed. I couldn't move, man. I think I was like froze or whatever.
Jeez.
Just crazy. But I had bled so much that when the ice hit me, I kind of like went to the bathroom. It was just nothing but blood. But, you know, I mean, and like I told you earlier with the women's situation, people just don't understand the things we put our bodies through to be champions and contenders, you know. So that's why I always, no matter what, I don't care if you're 5 years old, I got respect for you, because I know what it takes to be a fighter.
Yeah.
I know what it takes to be a champion. I know what it takes just to be a contender. You know, and you know, you have these promoters that just half of the time just use these fighters. And these fighters don't know no better. They just look at it like drug dealers look at it. Look, I can go make a couple of dollars, you know what I'm saying, and I'm good. I'm okay. I can go, you know, spend the money on my bills, and the little bit of money I got left over, I can keep in my pocket for a rainy day, and then they go do it all over again. But this time, they them just getting thrown in with no training, no type of technique, and then this time when they come back, they're taking a little bit of time to having a little bit of technique, they're knowing a little bit of what they need to do and how they need to do it. But, you know, hey, it is what it is, baby. And, you know, at one time I was just like, man, look, I ain't even going to box no more. I'm not even going to do nothing about boxing. I'm through with it. But at the end of the day, man, I'm a boxing junkie.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be there.
Love comes right back.
Ain't no doubt.
The kids of Philadelphia gotta.
I mean, I get that world champion that was Ivan Robinson, but it's just going to the Happy Hollow, knowing that I got kids that come in the gym every day to train. You know, I got kids that really want to come in and learn. And some of them really be good, but you know what happened? They get caught up in the street, and they just walk away, man.
Kids of Philadelphia go to Happy Hollow, learn how to box from one of the greats, Ivan Robinson. I mean, how could they not want to learn from you? You're right there.
Say again?
How could they not want to go to Happy Hollow and learn from one of the greatest?
Yeah, you're right about that. You know, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Get it out there.
That's what I tell them. Come on down here and, you know, learn what it is to be an actual true professional champion. But these kids nowadays, they're already there when they come out their mom's stomach.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is what it is. That's why sometimes I do get the itch to go in the gym and put in them rounds so these guys can see me work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then I do get the itch sometimes to go in there and spar some of these guys so I can hit some of these guys because these guys really don't know how to hit. They don't know where to get hit at. They say they know where to hit you and stop you, but they really don't know.